It's 2024. Welcome back to the channel. It's the new year and I am hesitantly optimistic about what this new year will hold. 2023 was a hefty mix of highs and lows and an even heftier mix of subpar and blatantly unfinished games. I finished up 2023 with some good food, friends, and by finishing off some games I've been dragging on, particularly Spider-Man 2. I've had that since launch, and while it's amazing, I was ultimately ready to finish it. I wrapped that game up and just sat in the full brevity of what transpired. I was still in the gaming mood though. I still wanted to play something, so I looked around for something relaxing, something chill, and then I saw it. Tanuki Sunset. I had recently downloaded this game after receiving a free copy from the developer, and I do admit that sometimes I do play my games for 10 to 15 minutes before I actually start my critical analysis. Sometimes it's nice to just approach a game, no holds barred, and just enjoy it without having to analyze everything. What transpired was a 2-hour play session that for the most part kept me glued to the screen. So let's go ahead and talk about Tanuki Sunset. Tanuki Sunset is a skateboarding game by the developers Rewind Games where you play as a raccoon named Tanuki. Tanuki is left home and his overbearing mother, and is just trying to make a name for himself amongst the best skateboarders along his way to the end of the legendary trail. All set to the stylish tunes of many artists, mostly in the synthwave and lo-fi stylings. It's almost like a skateboarding game combined with the play style of a mobile or infinite runner. The goal is to make your way through several destinations as you head towards the end of the legendary trail. Each stop consists of multiple stretches of road riddled with obstacles, ramps, and bits. The challenge is ultimately up to you. Players are encouraged to go for their best time and go fast, but realistically you can kick back and just enjoy the leisurely stroll through each level. There's never a cap or threshold that stops you from advancing, and I really do appreciate that. I really enjoy how long the levels are. Most stretches between checkpoints can be anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes long, depending on how many attempts it takes to get there, and the difference of heading just forward instead of moving all around in a defined play space actually feels fresh. You really never know what's coming around the corner. It's almost like downhill skateboarding. It's just about getting from point A to point B and staying alive. Players that speed up, however, are greeted with a more than adequate challenge. Weaving around traffic and pulling off tricks at that speed can be awesome. That is, until you wipe out. Thankfully, wiping out just sends you back to the last checkpoint with all the bits you collected as well. Some portions of a level are actually longer than the rest too, which really does raise the stakes. When you're like 90% of the way there, you're just trying to get to the checkpoint, you can make it and then go down! Oh, God. Eventually the game starts to layer in things like drifting, reverts, ramps, and other tricks. Pulling them off is easy enough, although I feel like the window for the revert could be adjusted ever so slightly. I hit it a couple times only for the game to just kind of ignore it completely. The trick system isn't as complex as, let's say, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. You can't grind or anything like that, but there really is enough there to ultimately enjoy. If you wish to take a reprieve from your trip, Tanuki can stop in at the shop and check out new clothes and customize his board. Additional boards and parts are unlocked as you progress through the campaign as well. There's also this neat arcade cabinet in the shop that holds challenge trials if you find yourself just looking for a different change of pace. I went with the board shop personally, because who doesn't want a skateboard with a sloth on it? And then I just continually swapped boards as I earned them. For clothing, I started off reserved with a shirt and shades, only to end up in a sombrero by the end. On occasion, your overbearing mom will call you because she has to see how her baby's doing, and sometimes she will leave you new gear at the shop for you to uncover, like, oh, a helmet, Mom! Visually, Tanuki Sunset looks great. I enjoy the vaporwave aesthetic, and each level has its own personality. My only real gripe is the frame rate. There are moments when you are just fighting against pure choppiness. cars just start to stutter towards you, and it makes the timing of your dodges and your weaves all that more crucial. And when you're playing a game like this where every second really matters, you don't want to be fighting more than what's originally intended, and it can really kill that experience. I only noticed it in docked mode, so I'm hoping it's something that can be patched out with time. Tanuki Sunset has an amazing atmosphere. It's this conglomerate of visuals I mentioned earlier with the chill and sometimes upbeat music. There's something about the world and its quiet streets, the music, the long pauses in between tracks only to hear your Walkman lightly kick in to transition you to the next song. It's just so perfect. The environment is a literal visual soundscape, serving as like a music visualizer, really until you notice that it's not really synced to the music that you're listening to, but oh well. There's just something about it that's just so relaxed and stimulating and captivating that I had to bring it up during this review. So if you're looking to start off 2024 with a chill game and low pressure stakes, look no further than Tanuki Sunset. The controls are nice and tight when frame rate isn't fighting back, and the visuals are clean and they fit the vibe perfectly. And for the most part, most importantly, the gameplay is really enjoyable and quick to get into. As much as I enjoy the standard longer campaigns and all the features and trimmings that come along with AAA titles, I much prefer a simple experience that I can just come home to and play with no extra pressure. Personally, I'd love to see a sequel to Tanuki Sunset in the future. I feel like they really managed to capture something that gives off the vibes of Pro Skater with the gameplay stylings of SSX. I think the next game could really benefit from some sort of random procedural generation, or maybe even like a track editor that could make for some more interesting tracks and infinite replayability. At the end of the day, Tanuki Sunset is an incredibly radical and zen journey, and like they say about all journeys, it's not about the destination, but the tricks you do along the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this content, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and like always, you have a good one.